The events of the film revolve around Loretta, the well-known writer, as she writes the last page of her new novel, called The Lost City. It is a romantic novel in which the heroine searches for a lost treasure, which is a fiery crown that King Calman gave to his wife. Loretta is confused about how her novel will end, so she decides in the end that the heroes will give away the treasure. Loretta's husband has been dead for 2 years, and since then she has done nothing but write. Tess is Loretta's agent who does seminars for media coverage. Tess tells Loretta that she must finish her novel as quickly as possible or she will lose a lot. Alan was at the symposium and he is the hero of her novel. Alan was dancing for the crowd. Loretta was embarrassed by his behavior. Suddenly one of the crowd asked Alan to remove his shirt. Loretta got angry and told the audience that he would die in the second part of the novel. Alan tried to convince her that he shouldn't die in the sequel because he would lose his job, but she refused and said she didn't want to see him again. Alan told her that sitting at home makes you nervous, so you should go out and deal with new people. She was upset by his words, so she left him. When she got out, a car came and she got into it. She was surprised to find 2 men in the car. They told her that there was someone who wanted to see you. Loretta tried to get out, but to no avail. Alan saw her get into the car and knew something had happened to her. When she arrived, she found a famous businessman named Abigail. He apologized for the way he used to see her. Abigail was very rich, but his true happiness was searching for rare things. He told her that he was interested in the fiery crown that she wrote about in her novel and that he was looking for it. Loretta laughs and tells him, "You've got to be kidding me." Abigail told her that he knew that her husband was an archaeologist and that they were studying extinct languages together, so he showed her an old manuscript. He asked her to decipher it because it would tell him where the crown was. Loretta asked how we would find the cemetery when the city was already unknown. He told her that he was able to find it, that it was in the Atlantic Ocean. He asked her to go with him, but she refused, but he took her against her. Tess called the police, but they did not care about her because not 24 hours had passed since her disappearance. Alan told Tess that he knew someone who could help, so he called Jack, who is trained in special operations, and Jack agreed to help them. He told them that they had to track her location through her phone. Tess told them that the phone is with her. Alan mentions that she was wearing a smartwatch connected to her phone. They knew that she was located in half of the Atlantic Ocean, so Jack and Alan went there. Abigail apologized to Loretta because he drugged her and brought her against her, but time was short because the island had a volcano about to explode. Abigail rented the island a year ago and brought many workers to find the treasure. He brought her into a tent and tied her to a chair. They placed the manuscript in front of her and asked her to decipher it. She told him that it was like the hieroglyphic language, that it contained drawings and symbols and that she needed to see other texts to know their interpretation. Abigail told her that he was not interested. With all this talk, she must act if she wants to leave the island. Alan wants to go to rescue her, but Jack tells him that his mission is over, so he can go. But Alan refuses and tells him that he wants to save her in order to reconcile with her. Jack agreed, but on the condition that he stays in the car, but Alan followed him. And he did not listen to his words. Jack began to storm the camp, and he found Loretta's tent. He tried to free her, but he could not, so Jack and Alan carried her and the chair that she was tied to. When they arrived in the car, they tried to free her, but someone shot Jack, killing him. Alan and Loretta entered the car. Alan tried to wipe the blood from his face, but he lost control of the car, so he stopped it before it fell into the valley. They got out of the car. Loretta suggested calling the police. Alan told her that the phone was in the car. They tried to open the car, but it fell into the valley. When they went down to look for the phone, they found it broken. Alan took a map and found that there was a village near them, so they decided to go there to inform the police, and here begins Alan and Loretta's journey in the forest. Abigail's followers were following their tracks when Loretta heard their voice. She and Alan went down to a lake so they would not be found. When they came out of the lake, there were blood-sucking worms in Alan's back. Alan was afraid that these worms would suck all his blood and he would die. Loretta was removing those worms from his back. Loretta found a wall containing symbols similar to those that were in the manuscript. She placed the manuscript in drawings and was able to interpret them, which indicate the king's tomb. The treasure was buried in the Well of Tears. Alan did not know that she had the manuscript with her. When Abigail and his followers approached them, they climbed a mountain and escaped from them. Tess decided to travel as well. Because there was no news from Alan and Jack, she decided to travel on a cargo plane. Alan and Loretta were tired from walking, so they decided to rest until the morning. Loretta and Alan's relationship improved because they got to know each other more. Loretta woke up and opened the manuscript in order to confirm its composition. Alan saw it and was upset because she had stolen it, so he left it. Suddenly 2 men from Abigail's followers attacked them, but they were able to escape and reached the village on the map. Loretta called the police and told them what had happened. Loretta asked a woman about the Well of Tears and she told her that it was nearby. Loretta told Alan that she found the location of the crown. Alan was very excited and told her that they should go there and live this adventure. Loretta was surprised by Abigail and the gang in front of her. Abigail told her that she would not go anywhere until she found the treasure, so he kidnapped her. Alan saw her and followed her. Abigail threatened that he would kill them if they did not tell him the location of the treasure. Loretta told him where it was. After many difficulties, they found the tomb. The crown was made of seashells that the king had made for his wife on their wedding anniversary. The tomb was collapsing. Tess rented a boat to rescue Alan and Loretta from the cemetery. Loretta decided to start a new life with Alan. In the last scene of the movie, they discover that Jack is still alive.